Good afternoon. I'm Coach Drew Little with the Home Run team at Real, and this is Hampton Roads Real Estate News. Here's what happened this week and what it means for homeowners, buyers, sellers, and investors in Hampton Roads. Our top story, Hampton Roads is a national standout in housing activity. There was some discouraging housing news nationally this week, but that's not the story here. Pending home sales fell 2.3% in July from June and 2.2% from last year. That's the lowest level of pending activity in 2026. But the Hampton Roads market was actually one of the strongest major housing markets in the country. The Metro posted a 17.2% year-over-year increase in pending housing sales, the largest increase among the 50 metropolitan areas tracked in Housing Wire's study. Due to the unique nature of our economy, it's not unusual for the Hampton Roads market to be more resilient than most of the rest of the country. Add increasing inventory to that picture, and buyers found reasons to be active. For buyers, one key takeaway is important. Don't let national housing headlines dictate your decisions. Get help from a professional who truly understands our unique market. Mortgage rates did move a little lower this week. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate fell to 6.65%, down from 6.67% the week before. It's the second consecutive weekly decline. But there's an important caveat. The rate was 6.58% a year ago, so financing is still more expensive than it was last summer. That means the monthly payment on a similar home is higher this year just because of the rate. So if you're buying, don't make your decision based on whether you think rates will be 6.5%, 6%, or 7% 6 months from now. Start with a payment that works for your household. Then look at what you can get for that payment. That's one reason it's important to get pre-approved. A good agent can help you find a good lender and get you ready to buy. And speaking of being ready to buy, Hampton Roads inventory crossed an important threshold this week. According to RAIN, in July we had 6,097 active listings. That's the first time since May of 2020 that there have been more than 6,000 active listings in Hampton Roads. But that doesn't mean that prices have fallen. In fact, July's median housing price was over $20,000 higher from a year earlier. Pending sales were up 1.75% year over year, and settled sales were up 3.92%. We're seeing a market with more choices, more transactions, and continued price growth, but not the frantic conditions from a few years ago. This is closer to what a balanced market looks like. And now for the Hampton Roads market update. The July numbers show 2.85 months of active inventory across Hampton Roads compared with 2.74 months last year. Homes took a median of 23 days to sell compared with 22 days last July. And Virginia Beach continues to be the most active market. The city had 1,205 active listings, the most on the south side. But its inventory level was only 2.38 months, which RAIN still classifies as a seller's market. That distinction matters. More inventory does not automatically mean buyers have the upper hand. It means buyers have more opportunities to compare. It also means they have more room to be selective, but shouldn't assume every seller is desperate. For sellers, it means pricing and presentation matter more. They have a lot more competition now, and buyers can choose among many properties. I'm watching two important market drivers currently. First, Hampton Roads has been experiencing employment weakness. Virginia Realtors reported that Hampton Roads has the largest decline in total employment among Virginia's metro areas since the beginning of the year. That's something we'll continue watching because employment is one of the fundamental drivers of the housing market. Hampton Roads' rental market remains relatively strong. Virginia Realtors reported that regional rents increased 5.1% year over year in the second quarter. That's the largest increase among Virginia's metro areas. That's particularly important for investors and for homeowners considering whether a property should eventually be sold or kept as a rental. Renters should also take heed. Though buying can be challenging, given affordability, the purchase price of a home is fixed once the contract is ratified. Rents go up almost every year, and in a lot of years, they go up a lot. And here's this week's homeowner's tip. Don't make a housing decision using old data. If you're thinking about selling, look at the recent comparable sales, current competition, and how long similar homes are actually taking to sell. July's Hampton Roads median price was $389,900, below June's record of $395,000, but it was still up over last year. That doesn't mean housing prices are collapsing. It just means that for 1 month, buyers found slightly better deals. And if you're a buyer, don't rely on the asking price. Look at how long the property has been available, whether the price has changed, and what comparable homes are actually selling for. In a market with more inventory, information is leverage. A good agent has data far beyond what the online portals are showing. And also, don't rely too much on AI. I ran current housing data through AI in preparing the news this week, and while it got the facts right, the interpretation ranged from a little bit off to just plain wrong. Don't let over-reliance on AI ruin a good deal for you. Ask AI for the background, but use a trusted professional for the parts that really count. This week's home run is choice. Hampton Roads buyers now have more than 6,000 homes to choose from, while pending sales in the region are still among the strongest in the nation. If you're a buyer who is financially prepared, you don't necessarily need to rush. You can compare, you can watch, you can negotiate in some instances, and you can walk away when the numbers don't work. For sellers, the lesson is the opposite. You now have to earn a buyer's attention. Price, condition, and presentation matter more when buyers have alternatives. Marketing is key. That's how a balanced market works. Good decisions become more important than fast decisions. That's the news for this week. We'll continue watching mortgage rates, local employment, and whether Hampton Roads' increased inventory continues to translate into sales as we move forward into the fall market. The best real estate decisions are informed decisions. We'll be back next Friday with the real estate news that matters most to Hampton Roads. I'm Coach Drew Little with the Home Run team at Real, and this has been Hampton Roads Real Estate News.